Okay, this is our second video on PowerPoint. So this one is going to be a little more detailed and complicated. However, I'm going to use the same PowerPoint that we did before, just so we don't have to start all over again. So it's has 5 slides. You can see on the side here, 5 slides, one of 5. And where we normally start is on our home screen, right? So we have all of our tools that we've been using up to this point. What we want to do next is go to animations. So animations will give us some ability to take certain parts of our slideshow, like words or objects, and do something with them, make them move during the transition. It serves a few purposes. It can keep your audience engaged. It can help you as you're moving through. So if you want to ask a question and have the question appear, and then speak to the audience, and then have a conversation with them about the answer and then have the answer appear, you can do this without creating 2 different slides. So, previously, what you would do is you would have one slide with you would duplicate the slide, then put the answer. And so this could end up having, 80 to 150 slides in your show if you want to do it that way. And with some of the animations we're going to use, it would take a really long time to do it that way. And the animation menu on the ribbon gives you lots of options of how to do it. You can time it, you can add a sound. Again, some of this is just fun, and maybe for a business or a school application, it might not be completely appropriate. But certainly there's some appropriate use for timing of when the words appear on the screen and how they appear. So we'll kind of go through all sorts of animations, and I'll show you how to change them when you want to. You can edit them and make them a little bit different. So the first thing we're going to do, this is our first slide, our title. So we're going to take these words, twinkle, twinkle, little star, and I'm going to highlight them. So now when I highlight them, you see that all of these different options appear. Now I can look at them this way if I want, or what I'd rather do is go to add animation, and then all of these options appear so I can see them better. So we have entrance animations, we have emphasis animations, we have exit animations, and then we have these motion paths where the words will move around the screen. And you can go to additional ones if you want. There's many, many different ones. So you have basic, you have subtle, you have exciting ones. So like I said, you can really choose what you want to do based on these different effects. So what I'm going to do is choose, I'll go back to here because it's easier to, oops, sorry, I'll go back to here because it's easier to see. So I'll scroll down to the bottom of the entrance ones, and I'm going to put bounce. So this shows me what it looks like when it bounces. Um, so we can do it again, and they just bounce in. So when I do this, this animation pane shows up on the side, and this gives us an opportunity to make some edits. So we can change the order. So say I want a few different ones. Let's add another one in here. Let's just do the word star, okay? Because that's something that we can highlight. And we'll go to emphasis. Let's go to what seems star-like? Maybe a flash. Let's see what a flash looks like. No. So it did it on the whole thing, right? So that's not what we want. We wanted it just on the word star. So let's go here, and we're going to remove this second one. Okay, so we still have the first one. Okay, so let's see if we can make just the word star do something. And again, we're going to go back to add animation and maybe make it pulse. No, it's doing the whole thing. So let's erase this and we'll get back to it. Okay, so let's start with just this bouncing. So I'm going to go here to the edit, and I'm going to do effect options. So I can then choose what I want to do. So uh, you can choose a sound, applause, arrow, a breeze, chime, coin, something like this. You can make it sound. Again, this gets to be maybe a little bit silly at some point. Then I can change what happens after the animation. Do I want it to dim? Do I want it to change color? Something like this. And then I can change how the animation interacts with the text. So I can do it by word. I want to do by letter. So I want it to bounce in by letter. And I don't want it to take too long. So I'm going to put it to 8% in between. So here come my letters. Bing, 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 bing. They bounce into place. All right, so I like this. I think this works very well. Okay, so we'll go to our second slide. After I'll show you about transitions between your slides, but let's get this under our belt first. So we're going to take this one word and we'll see what do we want to do with it. We can have it appear, we can have it fly in or float in. And that's what float in looks like. We can have it float in. We have that twice. Let's get rid of it. Or we can see what it looks like to fly in. So let's try a different one. Let's see. We did float in. That was float in. Let's do fly in. And I think it means it comes from the side when you do fly in. And we'll see what that looks like. Yeah, flying comes from the bottom, but we can change it so it comes from the side. So we'll go to Effect Options, and we will decide where it comes from. So let's have it come from the left. So there it comes, and we can do the same with this one because we want these to be not all happening at one time, right? So we want them to happen separately. So I'll show you two different ways we can do that. So if I go here and I go again, fly in, and I want it to change it so it comes from the side. So we have 1, 2. So I can go Effect Options, and I can do from the left again, from the left. Okay, so what we can do is here play from the beginning just to see how it's going to work. So there's 1, 2. And I can change the timing if I want it to take a little bit longer. All right, so that's one way to do it. Now what I can do is let's erase these and do it a simpler way. If I'm going to use all the same, I can highlight all of my text. Oops. So I'm doing Control A to highlight everything on the page, and then going to Add Animation, go Fly In, and then I have one thing, and I can go like this with Edit Options, and I want it to, again, come from the left. See what happens. Maybe we have to, so it's all coming in at one time. So now I'm going to edit my options, and I can do, again, Effect, and I can say I want them to come in by word. And I can make it slower since it seems to be going fast. So we'll do timing. And we want sort of medium maybe. Let's see what that looks like. Medium. You can also control how it is triggered. So you want it to do when you click on it, or you want it to do you want to start the effect on click of each individual one. So we can go like this. Oops, let's go back. And preview. All right, so this is one way to kind of look at this. Uh, what we can do now is insert some sort of picture and see if we can do the animation with a picture and see what that looks like. So let's find a star. Again, it's not going to be too complicated. We'll try to keep it simple. Um, find a star that works with our colors. Let's do this. So I'm going to insert this here. Oops, oh no. So let me just go back because I don't remember where that went. Make sure I'm clicking on the right thing before I drag it. So I want this to come here. And now I'm going to go back to animations and I want this to fly in, but I want it to come from the bottom corner. So I'm going to go to Effect Options. I'm going to go to Effect Options and find the direction. And I can go from the bottom left and it'll go up. And it's way too fast. So let's slow it down. Yeah, it's set on very fast. So let's put it on medium. See what that looks like. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now you can see that we have a little bit of an issue because that happens before our words, and I want it to happen after. So how can I make that happen? So I just moved it to the bottom. You can see it was up here first. And so now I'm going to play, and then that comes last. And then I can do another animation maybe at the very end. Uh, that was some color pulse. Let's see what that looks like. Let's go color pulse and maybe make it yellow. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't done this before, so we'll see what it looks like. Eh, I'm not sure about the color pulse. So that's this. So let's remove it and do something different with it. Okay, so we're going to add animation. And again, it's like an emphasis kind of animation. So we want it to, we can have it like teeter, so it looks like it's twinkling maybe. Yeah, so it'll move a little bit. Okay, so now again, this is at the top, and I don't want this at the top. I want this to be the last thing that happens. So it's highlighted, so I take this arrow and I just keep clicking it until this goes all the way to the bottom. And you can see that our animations are numbered. So these four things will happen first, then this will happen, then this will happen. And we can start it at the top and then hit play from, and it'll show us how it's going to look. And then the little teeter at the end. Okay, so this is just some of the things you can do um, if you want to enhance your video a little bit. So I will just kind of do some simple ones. There's some different up here, some wipe. They're not very exciting. And then go to the next one. Go to zoom. Oops. And add animation. let's see what this is. Oh, so that's something interesting. So we can change the color and go here and make the color something that works better with our palette, maybe, in the sky. Okay, so that's kind of, some basic things you can do. So if we want to look at our slideshow, we go to slideshow from the beginning. And now when I click, you see this happens, and then it stops. And then I go to my next one. I click and the page is blank, right? And then I click again, and this is where my things start to come in. Okay, so very, very simple. So now if I want to do something with the transitions between my slides, so what happens when I go from one page to the next? How do I deal with that? So you can use different, this is called morph. It just kind of like fades from one to the other. So we can go back and see it again. You can do fade, which fades in and out. Push, which one pushes the other. Wipe, which it wipes it to the side. Split, reveal. This is kind of slow. Cut, random bars like this. You can see there's many different ones here. Uncover, cover, fall over, like this. I mean, that's kind of fancy. So let's do that one here. And then we can go to drape. Goes to the next one. And then we'll go to, oops, wind. That might be something. And then you can do, anything you want. It's kind of a funny one. And then the last one, let's see what we can find. And it just peels off. Okay, so now we can go to our slideshow from the beginning. And you see falls down, then I click, and here come my words. And I click again and go to the next one. Okay, and it's the end. Okay, so as you can see, we can add lots and lots of different animations and things. And the next time we will talk about notes and how to use notes appropriately and how to be able to see them. But for now, thank you so much for watching.